So you live in Mississauga, you're trying to figure out if now is a good time for you to make that transition from one property to the next. We have the numbers here for the June 2025 update for the month of May in Mississauga. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through all the stats, the nitty gritty, what the 1-bedroom condos are selling for, the 2-bedroom condos, the detached homes, and how much these prices have actually changed over the last 30 days. But not only the last 30 days, we're going to look back a year and compare what those numbers look like as well. So let's get started. Overall, Mississauga, the median price is $944,500. That compared to the last month is actually up. We're up 3% compared to the last month. However, compared to last year, we are down just a slight bit. We're down to $999,000 from last year to $944,000 today. When we're looking at the big picture here, and that ends up being just sales. Are things moving? We've had up to today 2,154 sales. Last year, same time, 2,800. So we actually have 23% less transactions that have taken place in Mississauga up till today. Not only that, we've actually seen that median price come down from $955 to $921, as you'll see here. So 3% down compared to last year, same time. Most importantly, at least for me, is the new listings that are coming on the market. And we saw this in our Brampton update video. And if you're interested in Brampton, that video is here as well. But we're seeing here 21% increase in the inventory that's come on the market. In this case, 7,500 listings have come on this year. Last year at this point, we were at just about 6,200. And what I'm finding is in all the housing categories, in all of the updates that we've done, whether it's the Toronto or the Brampton update and now the Mississauga update, we are seeing a consistent theme. And that theme ends up being more people are trying to sell their home right now, regardless of what the market is doing. So we're seeing a influx of new listings. And as you can see here, this month, we've had 2,030 new listings come on. Last month, we were at 1,600 new listings come on. So we keep piling up. People want to move, but the market isn't necessarily moving at a speed to keep up based on the transaction side of things, because we had 2,000 new listings, but only 509 transactions. So we're trying to make up the ground here with all the inventory, but we do keep piling up as time goes on. Now, big picture, a lot of these listings that keep coming on get terminated before they get relisted again. That's why you're seeing such a big number here, 879 transactions. Look at the last year's number. We almost have 1,000 more terminations at this point. That's a 54% rather increase. That's a big increase, and that means those homes aren't selling very quickly. One, because they're priced badly. Two, because there's too much competitive inventory out there. Three, the home is maybe just not prepped the way it should be. It's not good in terms of getting people out there based on the media and what the agents are doing to attract potential buyers to the property. But let's get into the different types of homes, because that's really important for a lot of you guys watching this video. Not only does the bigger market picture matter to you, a lot of you want to know, hey, can I do much with my condo apartment? And we'll start there. Condo prices last month were median priced at $528. We're actually up about 6% here, so $559. I like seeing that. Something that's very nice to see. A little bit more transactions happening, 134 to 136. The median list price has not changed very much. Now, this is for condos as a whole. We'll break it down further as well. Now, new listings, we've seen 20% more condos hit the market again. Not good. We don't need more condos hitting. We want more sales that are happening. If we're looking at last year, we're still down almost 30% when it comes to sales that have actually happened in the condo side of things. And the inventory, we were up 21%. So there you go. You have a 50% swing almost between what is coming to the market additionally and what's not selling. That's not the most helpful for the market, especially the condo market. Now, you can see here the above list price sales are dwindling away. That means the bidding war strategy is no longer a viable option for most people. We are seeing things sell below list price, and they are taking, in Mississauga, median of 25 days to actually sell. Now, you might say, hey, I have a 1-bedroom condo, so let's look at 1-bedroom condos and see what those numbers look like. So if we wanted to, just look at 1-bedroom condos here, the median price is now down to $453. Last month it was at $450, so we're slightly up. transaction volume, only 13 transactions, and we had 74 new listings. Not a lot of movement. Now, big thing here is we still have less than last year, 37% decrease here in the sales, and the price, we're actually down from 520 to 461. So we're taking a hit there. And then new listings, of course, we have more new listings. This is a common theme right now. People are trying to move property, but we just don't have enough buyers who are either able to afford it or willing to pay the prices. And that's why we see the prices keep coming down. So 1-bedroom condos, your fate is not as good as it was in the past. It's better than it was last month. That's the short of the story here. The 2-bedroom condos, we are going to bump up our price obviously to $555. Now transactions, great, similar from month over month. List price, it's not selling too far off. You know, $569 list, $555 median sale. I like that. It's not a big concession on the selling side, and the buyer feels like they still did get a deal. We did see an increase here of 28% on the actual inventory. 327 new listings came to market. Of course, we got to look at what happened, you know, up to date last year and now. So we've seen the prices drop almost $50,000. Not fantastic. And we have also seen transactions at 318 versus 446. Also a 28% decrease there. And let's top it all off with 30% more listings coming to the market. So neither the 2 or the 1 bedrooms are in a great position right now. It's going to take a month at a bare minimum to sell one, but you also need to understand that there's a lot of inventory and not a lot of sales are actually happening. Let's get into hopefully some better news for you. If you're watching this and you own a detached home in Mississauga, let's see how those numbers are looking. Now, I got to change it from 2 bedrooms because that is not correct. So we got your average or median price is going up slightly, but it's going up. It was 1.3. It is now 1.317. So we're up just 1%. I'll take it. Transactions were also up. Median list price has come down, but the prices have gone up. I think that is a good sign that people are pricing their homes closer to the actual values instead of having them, you know, priced just absurdly and having to negotiate down. New listings, we still did see an influx of inventory. This is the buyer's warning sign. Every category has a lot more inventory. This might push prices down further if the inventory doesn't get swallowed up, because we will see more hit market in June. July and August, a little bit less will hit market, but we need to sell some of the inventory or we are going to keep getting 20% increases month over month on this inventory hitting the market. It's not pretty, not something I'm excited about to see here. Price compared to last year, we're down 50K. That's not bad. In the big picture, we're seeing other cities that have taken a much bigger hit. So I'll take it. It's a 3% change from last year. Sales, of course, the sales are down. 23% less sales have happened on the detached side of things. I don't necessarily think detached home sales are lower because people aren't interested in moving. I think it's an affordability gap between a town or a semi and still getting into the detached homes. That's the biggest struggle right now. That, or somebody has a good mortgage rate and they don't want to mess that up and make that transition. Thirdly, maybe people are just realizing they don't need all the space they thought they did for another house, and they can really enjoy the house that they're currently living in. All three are possibilities in what's actually happening here. And when we're talking about new listings, here we go. We're up again 16%. So we're seeing between the new listings hitting the market and the transaction volume decreasing, we're seeing a little bit of an issue here. Good thing is prices right now fairly stable in Mississauga. So that is a plus. Semi-detached last month was the best category. And this month, once again, let's take a peek. We've got a lower price, 2.6% decrease from last month to this month. We had 3 more transactions month over month. We saw a 20% increase in actual inventory that came on the market. So we're seeing here 210 versus 176. And this is the category that you have to watch out for if it's a bidding war or not, because there's still 26% of these that are actually selling with a bidding war. It's a category that if you own a condo, townhouse, or a condo townhouse, you're going to want to move up into something, and a detached is too far. So semi-detached ends up being that category that most people end up targeting. When we're comparing to last year, we have about 30 transactions less. That can be made up. We do have an inventory spike of 29%. That's difficult. So we have to make up the transactions, but the inventory does keep piling up. The same issue once again. It's going to take you a couple weeks to sell a semi, quicker than some of the other housing types for sure. Now, let's take a peek here at the freehold townhouses. They are a lot less in terms of the transaction volume. So these prices can be a lot more volatile in that month to month. So as you can see, last month, 13 transactions at $915. This month, $995 on 23 transactions. So we might have had some bigger sales come out of this category. We did see new listings jump here, 80 of them from 59 last month. That's a 35% increase. And this category has an even bigger above list price offering here at 47.8. So that means attached freehold townhouses might be, at least in the last 30 days, more desirable than a semi-detached home based on the way people are listing them, and buyers are still paying over list price. When we're looking at last year's numbers, we're down 5%. Not the end of the world, but still down. So if you bought last year, you don't want to go and sell this year, you're down, but likely, or unlikely rather, that you're going to sell year after year unless you can't afford the home you're living in. So we're down to 960 from 1,015,000. Transaction volume, very similar. We're only off 6 transactions. Yes, that's 7%, but it's only 6 transactions. It can be made up fairly quickly. As you can see, we had 10 more this past month, so we can make it up in a month if need be. Median list price, it hasn't changed year over year, which is interesting to see, even though that price has changed a little bit. But new listings, we have seen almost 40% increase of new listings. So we need to watch the inventory that hits the market versus the sales. We need to make sure we swallow up enough of this inventory. If we don't, what happens here is, hey, this above list price does not work as much anymore. If you have lots of inventory, buyers will just go and buy the other similar townhouse around the corner. And we're going to finish off the condo townhouse category. Second most affordable is right now looking at the median price of $748. Last month it was $750. Last year it was $810. So things have come down a little bit, 5% here. Transaction volume, it is a little less than last month, so not as popular as the last 2 categories we have talked about. And we are still getting an increase in new listings hitting the market here, 331 versus 307. Year over year, same thing, 20% increase and a 24% decrease in the transactions. So after looking at all these different categories, we're seeing the similar patterns across the board. More inventory is coming to market, less sales are taking place. And if we don't start to swallow up some of these sales on the buying side, guess what? Listing prices will have to come down to give people more competition and get these homes sold. Because if you have 100 listings instead of 50, the buyers are going to have even more power than they already do. And if you're interested in Mississauga real estate and learning more about the stats, and maybe you're looking in a specific neighborhood for yourself, feel free. You can reach out to us. Our information is in the bottom banner here. I'm happy to give you a specific property value or at least a neighborhood value for your area, because Mississauga is a large area. There's a lot of communities within Mississauga. So if you have questions about your area, don't hesitate, reach out. Happy to have that conversation with you. We can always hop on a one-on-one call like this if that's something you wanted to do. Thank you so much for watching this one. If you are interested in making a move in Mississauga and you haven't seen why people are leaving Mississauga or where people are going once they leave the Peel, which is the Brampton or Mississauga area, one of these 2 videos might be something you're interested in watching next.